All right, maniacs, I'm about to review a classic Bollywood film from 1995. And you know how I feel about 90s Hindi cinema. So, which classic is it? I'll let you figure it out. Okay, have you figured it out yet? Huh? Have you? Have you? That's right. I am reviewing the classic SRK Kajol film, Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, or simply known as DDLJ, which came out in 1995. Now, you guys know how I feel about 90s Hindi cinema, but this was recommended by at Saad Imjard 7. Saad Imjard 7. This film was directed by Aditya Chopra in his directorial debut. Now, I know he produced a lot of stuff. It stars SRK as Raj in a career defining performance. And I'm not going to go through the list of what I've seen of his because I've seen probably 30 films of his. Kajol, who was quite lovely in this, I've seen in Fana. My Name is Khan, Tanhaji, the Unsung Warrior, in ISHQ. Amrish Puri, who I've seen in Gadar, E.K. Prem Katha, Badshah, and Gatak, among Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Bug Eyes, I call them Bug Eyes. Farida Jalal, Anupam Kher, who is in one of my favorite films, A Wednesday, The Bengal Files, Buddha in a Traffic Jam. Karan Johar, Coffee with Karan, in his acting debut. Now, I didn't know when I've seen him on Coffee with Karan, I never made the connection that he was also a director. But I when I saw the film, I'm going, that guy looks really familiar, but very young. Of course, it was him. So before I get to the review, there are a lot of factoids. So let's get into the Maniac, Cinemaniac factoids. Okay, let's talk about some of this. Did you know the title of the film actually came from Anupam Kher's wife, Karan? They were going to call it something else. She's the one that came up with that. Um, Actors up for the role of Raj before Shah Rukh Khan: Amir Khan, Salman Khan, Saif Ali Khan. A lot of Khans. Okay, a lot of Khans. They were all offered the role. I think the closest who actually got the most substantial offer was Saif Ali Khan, who chose not to do it. A little tidbit: the leather jacket, the Harley Davidson leather jacket that SRK wears in the film, ended up in a store in Bakersfield, California, where one of the most brilliant actors in Bollywood purchased it for $400. And that, of course, was Uday Chopra. Now, you know I'm kidding on that, right? Okay. Here's another thing that just blew me away: how beloved this movie is. Um, this film played as of 2023. It played over 27 years. Years. That's my Boston accent. Years at the Maratha Mandir Theater in Mumbai, which was the longest running movie ever because it surpassed Sholay, which prior to that was the longest. Here's another thing that I didn't know about, and it bummed me out because you know me and Amir Khan. When SRK won the Best Actor in the Filmfare Award that year, Amir Khan said he'd never go back because he thought he deserved it for Rangila. That's a little bit petty if you ask me. Now, Do I think Amir Khan was better than SRK? I do. I thought it was a better performance because it was SRK, and I love SRK. Please don't misunderstand this, but he plays himself in a lot of these films. Okay, so I get where Amir Khan's coming from, but that's pretty petty, I think. And also, Shah Rukh Khan carries this film. Kajol is great in this film, but it's his film. Um, and finally, the last one I'll tell you is after Shah Rukh Khan saw the finished film, he rightfully predicted that this was going to do for him what Dilwale did for Amitabh Bachchan. And obviously, it did. So now, let's get to the review. Okay, now look, I have to preface this review. I know how beloved this film is. I saw the reviews, and it's been beloved for a long time. In fact, they did a reunion where they took pictures of Kajol, who's married to Ajay Devgan. I didn't know that. With Shah Rukh Khan, and they recreated some of the classic poses, and people went crazy. And I totally get that. Um, so I want to be real sensitive to that when I review this. But my promise to you guys has always been I'm going to be honest and I'm not going to play to the crowd. I just won't do it. And the 90s films have a certain look and feel and a certain acting style. Now, having said that, the version that I saw looked amazing and sounded amazing. It didn't look like a typical 90 Hindi film, so they must have upscaled it because it really looked and sounded great. So that made me happy. But the acting stuff was still, and I'll get into that. Okay, now let me say right up front that I did enjoy the film because it's always interesting for me to see these actors who I've come to know by watching their films in the early to late 2000s compared to 1995 or 99 2000. So you see their progression, right? So you see Shah Rukh Khan mugging a little bit here, which he does. I mean, let's be honest about it, but I still appreciate what he did in this film because, like I said, he carries the film. So the story. The story is about, let's make it really simple. It's about two people who are looking for love, and they know their dream love is, I think, what they call it, right? And they don't quite realize that they are each other's dream love. And of course, because it's the way things are now. They live in London, but the father's from India, so there's an arranged marriage component. Now, once that happens, you know what's going to happen. They're going to fall in love, but they're not going to be able to be together because Kajol is betrothed to somebody else. And you know that because it's a comedy, it's not high drama. So Shah Rukh Khan's Raj is going to figure out a way to get them out of it. Now, I would say to you that after the first, you know, half of the film, it was pretty predictable what was going to happen. But I'm pleasantly surprised because what happened really wasn't predictable. It was almost super ridiculous, to be honest with you, the way they saw that. I like the first half of the movie far better than the second half of the movie. Their story, Kajol and Raj, I'm calling him Raj and her Kajol. Her name was Simran. Simran. Um, I really enjoyed that storyline when it was if you've ever seen or heard of the film It Happened One Night. It reminded me of that. Two opposites who are forced by circumstances to go on a little bit of a road trip and how the barriers kind of break down. And by the way, Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert. And they give, I think these two give them a run for the money. And it was really charming, that part of the story. I really liked that because Kajol I've seen her and stuff, but I don't know. There's something in this one. She was adorable, first of all, um, and her chemistry with Shah Rukh Khan is, I mean, it's real. And there's a scene where she wears a green sari, and I guess that became her thing, to the point when she married Ajay Devgan, she wore green, similar to what she wore here. So that I liked. The second half of the movie where they come up with a plan, Simran and to Raj is going to ingratiate himself with the groom's family and her family too, so that eventually the father, because he doesn't want to elope, he didn't want to elope because he wants the father's blessing, and because the father is Amrish Puri, Amrish Puri, that guy, and he does that a lot in this movie, even though he's not playing super evil. He's not. He's actually probably the most lovable I've seen him, but he does the bug eyes a lot, a lot. So that part of it was just so it was kind of silly because she gets engaged, but he can't put the wedding ring. He can't put the engagement ring on because she got tape around the fingers. Because if the engagement ring goes on there, she's committed to him. So he puts it on a different finger. Well, then they move the wedding up, right? Oh, and I'm sorry, Shah Rukh Khan's father, played by Anupam Kher, he's very funny in this too, because like the opening scene is Shah Rukh Khan's opening scene. His introduction is he's late for graduation, and he ends up not graduating. So he goes home thinking his father's going to be upset, and his father, Dharamvar, takes him through this room with all the pictures of his uncles, and he starts laughing because he goes, "They're all successful, and they're all failures. They didn't graduate." Well, I read that the stories that he was saying, Anupam Kher, was his own family. Those are the stories he was using. And his father loves him, and big support, and loaded too. I mean, he's driving a Lamborghini. He was driving some convertible, red convertible that was beautiful. Um, so 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 that part of the film, it just was so like you have to suspend your disbelief completely, and slowly he wins everybody over. But when they find out who he really is and what his purpose is, it takes not a heavily dramatic turn, but it takes a pretty dramatic turn. And it's dramatic. Why? Because the camera zooms in on everybody, which is so 90s Hindi cinema. It's very soap opera. Da-na-na, da-na-na. And there's, for one scene, when the father realizes it, Amrish Puri is like this the whole time. Shah Rukh Khan's trying to talk to him. He's upset. He's trying to explain why he did it. And he's like this. He's like this the whole time. Just bug eyes, right? And of course, there's a happy ending because they met at the beginning of the film. They meet. She's trying to get on a train that's moving. He's in the car already. He grabs her by the hand. Well, at the end of the film, same thing, except they're gonna get married, and the father gives her permission to chase him in the train, and he pulls her in, so it ends the way it started, and he's all happy because the father ultimately wants his daughter to be happy. So the story the story was fine. Like I'm telling you, I really enjoyed the first half a lot. Oh, wait, should I? No, should I? Yeah, I'll give you what I thought. I gave the story a 6. The story was fine, but it was nothing new. Now I'm going to give you a couple of great scenes. I already told you one. The scene where he doesn't graduate and his father starts telling the story. Because Raj thinks the father's going to be really upset. Well, when the father starts smiling, starts laughing, he's going through the portraits of all the failures in the family and how happy that makes him. I just thought that was a hilarious scene and tells you everything you want to know about why Raj is the way he is. So I like that. Um, The okay, so now there's there was a I'm not going to show you this, but there's a scene where Kajol's going to build a fire in a barn. Okay, she's got all the wood in the middle, but there's straw everywhere, and she's trying to light the fire. Like that's yeah, she's beautiful, not too bright though. Um, so there was a couple of funny scenes while they were on the road trip. One was they're outside in this barn that they were about to burn down, and he pulls out cognac to warm himself up. Well, she won't drink it, right? He goes, you know why? I'm not going to drink. Okay, so he puts the cognac down and goes to sleep. She starts staring at it, right? So then they cut, and now she's drunk, and it leads to a song. And I thought that was really funny. Um, and she was great in it because she was kind of uptight for the first part of the film, but once she downed, and it was an entire bottle of cognac too. It was very very funny, and it also leads to another scene where they're in a church, and he's not Catholic, right? But he asks her to leave because he wants to ask God a favor. And he goes on the where you kneel, and he starts talking to God. And that scene was really funny because he doesn't exactly know what to say. He doesn't know how to ask for help, and he's like, oh, okay. I thought that was really cute. Excuse me. Let's see. Oh, there was a theme. Oh no. I'm going to talk about that with music. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be jumping all over the place, but yeah. I mean, the scene where the last scene. Well, there was a fight scene in this too. I read this. Shah Rukh Khan wanted a fight scene because that's what you do. He's a masculine guy, right? Well, the director said, "Look, it doesn't fit, but if you want to do it, I'll give you a day to shoot it. That's it. No more than that." And they did it, and it was okay. It was fine. It was kind of out of left field, but whatever. But a really good scene was at the train station where she's begging the father to let her go, to be with Raj. And the family's around, and they all know that she loves him. Even the family of the groom knows that, right? And you see the father slowly starting to break down. And he played it. Puri played it really well, and then he lets her go. I thought that was a great scene too. So I really like that. Oh, by the way, there's product placement all over this film, like more so than I've seen. Tang, that's how you know it's a '90s film. Pringles, Coca-Cola, and Stroh's beer, which was launched in India in 1995, but very predominantly placed. Now, performances. Look, here's where it gets a little dicey with me because Shah Rukh Khan in this film is very over the top. He just is, and I'm that, but that's typical of that era too. Like just scenes he, the faces, the mugging, the behind someone's back. It's a little too cartoony for me. Now, again, in his defense, that's what it's like in a lot of '90s Hindi cinema. Okay, Kajol, on the other hand, played it pretty straight. I thought she was really good in this. Um, and played the emotional scenes good too. Now he plays like that last scene. His best scene is the scene at the end where he's caught and he's got to explain it to everybody, and he wants to do it with the father's blessing. He doesn't want to just elope. And I thought he was really good in that scene, and he's good in a lot of the scenes, but some of it is just so. And the word I use is a little bit silly. And I hate saying that because I know how much people love this film, and it launched him into the stratosphere too. So, but I'm just telling you how I feel about it. And I thought everyone was good in it. I thought Puri was, it's a side of him you haven't seen before, but it's still that stone faced, bug eyed performance. Anupam Kher, who I really like as an actor, he was very good in this too. And a lot of the peripheral characters were good too. So, but it's Kajol and Shah Rukh Khan's film. So I'm going to give the performances a 7. Again, it's not my cup of tea. Some of the silly stuff, but I still enjoyed the film. Now the music, and there was a ton of music. I don't know if I'm going to show all the songs because there was so much of it. But the first song where the father is feeding pigeons in London, which comes back later on with Shah Rukh Khan. Second song, Kajol, when Kajol is introduced, she's looking out a window and the fan is blowing, But she starts singing about a stranger that she wants to meet, and what they do is they cut back and forth between her and Shah Rukh Khan. Now, no dialogue with Shah Rukh Khan, but as she's singing, it keeps going back, hence foreshadowing. Third song, Rukh Ja O Dil Dawan, which is a great scene. I love this scene. And it was predictable, though, right? They go to a club. They're all in Europe on a trip. His guys, friends, and her girlfriends. They go to this club, and he's braggadocious. He's saying, "I play the piano," blah blah blah. So she, who's been very shy, gets up on the stage and says, "Hey, we've got someone here who can play the piano." So he wants to come up, and it's Shah Rukh Khan. Raj, come on up. So he goes up. He goes, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Right? And he goes to the piano. He starts pounding on it. Right? And she kind of walks away all smug. And you know exactly what's going to happen. Now he starts playing something, and it's beautiful, right? Well, then it leads into this amazing song, a big number. Um, and he can really play, right? And they do this big, huge number. Well, at the very end of the number, he's holding her and then drops her. Well, Kajol didn't know that was going to happen, so her reaction is real. And it's a great number. I like the music too. Fourth song is a montage as they're running through Europe. They miss their train. They're stuck in Europe. They're trying to figure out ways to get back to their friends, right? But that's where they fall in love. Fifth song, as they leave in London, they depart. They part at the train station in London. Now you can tell they're in love with each other, but she's engaged, and he doesn't want to ruin that. And then they show each of them separately, but they each keep imagining that they're seeing each other in this like fantasy number, which is kind of cool too. Um, there's a sixth song where they're in this amazing field, and they're going to India to meet her future husband. And then there's another song in a field where he shows up where the groom's family is to kind of win her back. That's when they hatch this plan. But it's in this high field, and they run to each other. What are we gonna do? And that was kind of neat. Eighth song, Mendi Laga Ke Rakna. After she gets the engagement ring, she's wearing the green sari. Um, the father at one point, and this is kind of a cool scene, stares down Raj because Raj is really getting in good with everybody, right? And he's kind of leading this song. It's a great number too, great number. A lot of people behind him, and he's out front, looking great. But when the song's at a midway point, the father stares Raj down. So Raj got that sheepish look on his face. All of a sudden, the father starts singing and joins into the number. And again, that's something you don't see. At least I haven't Puri done very often. The ninth song, In Her Eyes, a Prayer, as all the ladies are sitting around. I don't know if it was a pool or a fountain as the wedding progresses. And the 10th song, when they get on the train at the end, it flashes back to kind of their story. And it was adorable. I like the music in this. I didn't like all the songs because they go on long. But I would say probably half the songs I really, really enjoyed. So I'm gonna give the music an 8. I thought the numbers were good. He is really good in them. She was great when she was when she did the song when she was drunk drinking the cognac. She was wonderful in it. I don't know whether I think they were in Australia, not Australia, Austria. I think, or Switzerland, maybe it was. But they're out in the snow, and she's wearing a little white dress. I don't know how cold it was. It must have been freezing there. But I like the music. Now, my overall, my final verdict. I will give this film. Um, I guess I will. I got to give it a 7. I'll give it a 7. I liked it. It's hard for me with all the movies I've seen, especially in the 90s, why this one landed like it did. Now, I know it's a wonderful love story. And again, it's Shah Rukh Khan at the, about to explode onto the world, right? So maybe that's part of the reason why. But Um, I just don't quite get it. I liked it, but like, 27 years it ran at one place. I suppose, now that I say that, I suppose because I'm a huge Casablanca fan, and there were movie houses that played that for years, and it's not everybody's cup of tea, and I love that movie. So I guess it's in the eye of the beholder. I liked it, and I appreciated his performance in it, and hers too. Um, so that's what I think about that. Let me know what you think in the comments section and explain to me. I don't know. A lot of you are a lot younger than me, so maybe it didn't resonate with you, and maybe it's an older crowd that puts it up there on this pedestal. It is in the book of what is it, 1,000 movies you got to see before you die. It's on that list. So it's not just India that loves this movie. So let me know what you think. I'm really curious about it. Okay. And what do you think about my review? I just, like I always tell you, I got to be honest. So I'm honest. Okay. Do me a favor. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, make a comment. Why? Because we're trying to build a maniac community, one maniac at a time. Maybe it's you. Who knows? Okay. All right, that's it. We'll talk to you soon on John Talks Indian Cinema with another movie review, a trailer reaction, or a song reaction. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.